the big reveal. And unlike some other people, I'm actually going to reveal some stuff to you that you didn't know. Now, maybe stuff you don't care about, but I'm going to do it because I'm a man of my word. All right? And all I want to do is bring you guys truth. That's it. Only, really. And actually, my motivation's even a little bit selfish because, you see, I can't stand some of the things that are going on. And I want to see the world change. So I do what I can toward that end. Yeah, it's about me. It's about my happiness. It's true. I'm not really happy with the way things are. I want to see them different. It's true. I'm using everybody to try to make the world a better place. I admit it. You know what I mean? What can I say? All right. So there's the first big reveal, right? How many other people are going to acknowledge anything like that, right? A lot of people out there talking a lot of things. Okay. Another big reveal. This hat, I freaking love this hat. I don't usually wear it. Okay, it's really symbolic. But this kind of floppy, hangy hat here, right? Sometimes it goes forward. There's a symbolism to it. You should take a look, right? A Phrygian cap, right? Starts with a P. Phrygian cap. Just check that out. It's kind of interesting. Another big reveal. I smoke a tobacco pipe. This is a fine one that I got from Switzerland, and I love the dang thing. I smoke organic tobacco, and I'm Mr. Frickin' Healthy, right? You should see the way that I eat, my general lifestyle. People are like shocked. What? You smoke? Maybe I know something you don't know. Or maybe you know something I don't know. But nonetheless, it's true. Yes, I'm Mr. Healthy and I smoke a tobacco pipe. Guess what? None of that really matters because the things that are going on are much, much bigger than any of this petty nonsense. And that's my point in bringing that stuff up. We got to get past all this petty nonsense. You know how many people I've seen in comments here and there, what if this happened, right? Michael's channel. I mean, all over the place, really. But that's where I spent most of my time looking at some of the comments people are leaving, I mean, we're not really spending time at this stage in the game, in the battle, whatever you want to call it. We're not really spending time debating who's a reptilian clone and their face is peeling it. We're not really spending time on that at this point, are we? Are we? Okay, because we got much bigger fish to fry. Tom Hanks. I mean, does anyone care whether Tom Hanks is alive or dead at this point? I mean, is any of that relevant? I could make a nice long list of the things that people were bringing up and commenting in different places in their rage at realizing rage and disappointment and fear. And I get it. And I don't mean to belittle it. I understand those feelings. But, people are bugging out because, certain things they were anticipating and counting on and believing in, not just hoping for. There's a difference, right? I got all kinds of hopes that I'm still hanging on to. I see no reason to let them go because I'm aware of some big picture stuff, spiritual level stuff. But as far as like believing and expecting, nah, man. Oh boy, so I understand that's tough for a lot of people. I get it. But it's time to get serious. It's time, people who thought that they were awake are realizing that they were maybe, half in, half out. That funny phase when you're like still got a little dream kicking around, but you're still, a little bit awake and the sunlight's on your eyes through the window. Time to pop those peepers open and really, really see, really wake up to what is going on, okay? I've said this before. I'll end up saying it again. Law. To those who are ignorant of law, you're not a patriot. I shouldn't say that. You might be a patriot in your heart, but you're not a patriot in action, okay? Because if you don't know law, if you don't know the foundation of this country, if you're not aware of common law, if you know nothing about any of this stuff, how are you really a fully active patriot, right? If you don't actually know the founding documents and philosophy behind America, then I mean, look, all right, you're a patriot in your heart, but you got a lot of work to do, okay? Because real patriots that take action, they take action based off of the knowledge that they have. And one of the most indispensable pieces of knowledge that a patriot can have about his or her country is the system of law and the philosophy that underpins it, okay? Jurisprudence, American jurisprudence, that's philosophy of law, jurisprudence, right? People don't know it, and that's why we are where we are. That's how the things that have been happening all the way up until this point. That's how they've been, able to happen, right? Because most of what has been happening for years and years and years. This isn't like yesterday or anything like that. No, most of what has been happening for years has been unlawful and un-American. But it passes, just like if a parent's not willing to enforce the rules on their kids. Whatever it is, pass. You know what I mean? It's like you're like, oh, bedtime's 8 o'clock, and your kid's like, well, actually bedtime's 10 o'clock. Well, if you don't do anything about it, then guess what? Bedtime is 10 o'clock, right? It's very similar to what's going on here, right? So I'm going to do my best here. YouTube's going to cut me off in a few minutes, I'm sure, and I'm going to have to split this video up, so just fair warning. Sorry. All right, and I'll put the other one out later because I'm just amazed at how many people, like my last video, they managed to see part 2, but apparently not part 1 because the views in part 2 are way higher than part 1. So we're going to try to avoid that. I'm going to release one, and then I'll release another part, later, maybe like in a day or whatever, okay? You got to get up with the law, and I'm going to give you some places to get started. Let me just give you an example. So something here that really simple stuff. It's good for the brain, I swear. Anyway, really simple stuff. I just want to show you one of my little files here, right? This is a little file that I have for His Advocates. Okay, that's a website you can find, I believe, unless they've been censored and taken down. His Advocates. Okay, it's just one of many. Just one of many, and I just want to share you a note that I have from it here, right? This is about people trying to retain their home and property in the face of government and or bank attempts at confiscation, repossession, or whatever you want to call it, right? Certain questions that you can ask to defend yourself against mortgage, foreclosure, and things like that. Is there a note? And of course, you want to understand, what are we talking about? Note. We're not talking about a post-it. That's a lawful and a legal term. A note. Are they a Pete? Pete meaning person entitled to enforce? Because of course, if they're not a Pete, then they have no business trying to enforce anything, right? Check the endorsements. Are these people a holder or a holder in due course? Is the chain of title unbroken? Okay. When you're looking, you want to look for copies, okay? You want to look for staple marks and things like that because a copy is no good in court. I mean, if a copy's good, then I'll just pay the mortgage with copies. How about that, right? You see how that works, right? Copies are no good, okay? So this is tip of the iceberg stuff as usual because this is just too deep. I've worked too hard to gain my knowledge, and I admit it's not as organized as I would like it to be. And not only that, I'm limited to short little videos. And I'm not really getting anything out of this other than I'm trying to educate some people so that hopefully, we can have a better future, right? Through knowledge of law, right? What I'm bringing these things up for is to show you that there's much knowledge out there about all kinds of different things that all come together around law and affect people's lives. And if none of these law issues are affecting your life yet, well, sooner or later they will. Okay, but probably most of us have had some type of run-in with the law, and we knew less than we would have liked to, probably. Okay, so let me just give you an intro to a concept. Actually, hopefully this isn't an introduction. Hopefully you've heard of it, and hopefully I'm just expounding upon it. But you know what? I'm going to cut it right here so that I don't have to cut it in an annoying place for YouTube. My message to you is you must, if you intend to be an active patriot, okay, if you intend to be a free man or woman, or whatever you identify as, if you intend to be free, you must learn about law. You must learn about the philosophy that underpins American law. Or you're not going to be able to do anything. Talk, watch videos, but that's it. If you want to do more than that, well, I got some breadcrumbs for you. And you got a trail to follow, and you got work to do. Watch out for the next one. We'll get into some more stuff. I'll show you a few things.